Good day everyone, thanks for joining us on a beautiful sunny day here in Vancouver, BC. The current time is 1:30 p.m. Now from CBC News, we'll be starting off with the tragedy of a murder that happened just a few weeks ago. This happened back on October 29, 2023. At approximately 2:07 a.m., the police responded to a 911 call about gunshots being heard. 22-year-old Kevin Steele, also known as Rooster, and his 21-year-old girlfriend Nicole Girard both lived together in a townhouse. At around 2 a.m., the neighbor heard an argument likely to be between the couple. However, minutes later, after things had quieted down, the sound of gunshots were heard. She then sees a woman wandering around the yard saying, "He punched me in the face," before re-entering the house. Alarmed, she immediately calls 911. Police arrived on scene around 2:12 a.m. where crying Nicole Girard was found both seated at a picnic table with her friends in the backyard. The body of Kevin Steele was found inside. CBC News' Jessie live in Vancouver with the story tonight.
Thanks, Emma. Good day, everyone. My name is Jessie, and I'm currently on a Zoom call with Miss Constable Kelstead, who is a key Crown witness of the R.v.Girard incident, or R.v.Girard case.
The surroundings were very dark and very gloomy. The environment was cold, dark. There were police cars everywhere, sirens.
Wow, it's hard to believe that this house was once lived by such a happy couple and is now a crime scene for a horrific incident. Jessie, could you tell us from seeing the house, how is it looking over there with police surrounding and investigating the crime scene?
Of course. 3 days ago, I was lucky enough to be at the house of the incident. Seeing the house being surrounded by so many police cars, there was about 16 of them, and so many expertise in their field, taking pictures, doing investigations, interviewing people. It was as if I was part of a murder mystery.
Well, when I arrived on the scene, the deceased was on the floor. His head was effectively blown away, and the accused was very obviously distressed. The murder weapon was on the floor of the bedroom. It was a rifle.
And Ms. Kelstead, how would you describe the degree of violence used in this incident?
The violence in this case, it was very, very gruesome. His head was blown away, shot from the back. Just overall very unsettling.
Well, considering the degree of violence used here, it seemed rather intentional. The person might have been super aggravated by the victim, but is it planned? We don't know. The components consisting of second-degree murder requires the mens rea of intentionally killing, however not planned beforehand, and the actus rea of doing the killing. So, is it second-degree murder? We don't know, but stay tuned.
As Mr. Ken was spending his Saturday evening partying with his friends, he heard a sound close to what he could immediately recognize as a gunshot. Proceeding with Miss Nicole running out of the townhouse, screaming about killing Mr. Kevin, continuing to shout things that showed how upset she was. Jessie will now be interviewing Mr. Ken, getting a deeper scoop on his involvement from hearing the gunshot to coming face-to-face with the accused, Miss Nicole.
Welcome back. I'm currently with Mr. Ken, who was a direct eyewitness of this murder. Being Mr. Kevin Steele, or the victim, or Roosevelt, best friend since childhood, it will require Mr. Ken so much effort and so much courage to reveal this wound to us again.
My surroundings were like any party. Alcohol everywhere, food, that's all there was to it really. Rooster is definitely someone who could harm his girlfriend. Always been a guy who wants to be right, but he's only turned especially violent after he met Nicole. Nicole is Rooster's girlfriend. She's always been a little scared of Rooster, but she always fights back. Wendy and Nicole's relationship was not that great, but it was nowhere near as bad as Rooster's. It was fairly predictable, honestly, but I hoped it wouldn't come true. Nicole seemed always stressed and was constantly leaving the house for a week and then coming back. Did not seem like she was having a good time. There was one time where I remember after Rooster slapped her, she came up, ran upstairs and grabbed a gun and threatened Rooster with shooting him if he ever touched her again. I was outside and I heard a gunshot, and then I saw Nicole running out of the house screaming was a very frightening experience. I didn't know what was going to happen next.
Thank you. As we can see, it is this repressed emotion over time that exploded all at once. So, would it be first or second degree murder or manslaughter? Stay tuned for the trial date. See you then.
As far as we know, you are a medical doctor who has been practicing in BC for almost 10 years. What can you say about the case, as we know that you have been examining the hospital records concerning Miss Nicole? Is there anything unusual that you have noticed?
Yes, I actually did see the accused personally. It was on December 1st, and she seemed a little timid, a little gloomy, but other than that, there was no injuries.
Was there anything different you may have seen that may have urged the possibility of murdering her boyfriend?
With the new injuries and the story not really adding up together, abuse was a huge factor, was a huge thought that could be happening. And with abuse, it can really affect a person's demeanor and how they think. So it could definitely have been a reason to why she acted the way she did and why she murdered Mr. Steele. With this case, it's very questionable, and just the fact of Ms. Girard coming in so many times was just I had a huge suspicion of her getting abused. I personally wish I could have had her come out and seek treatment for this horrible thing that happened to her. She said that she was actually going to start a family with him, which it didn't really make sense at all in the moment, and it didn't really deplenish my suspicions around her getting abused. And when I found out that she murdered him and that she was getting abused, I felt that abuse can really make a person just completely different.
Thank you so much, Dr. J. Holmes, for providing such professional information on this incident and uncovering the potential psychological aspect of this incident. And I must agree that Nicole's actions were indeed very much based on her repressed emotions that could have caused this behavior of where she had no choice but to murder her boyfriend. So what could the testimony be like? To reveal the truth of this murder incident and for new information that may occur, stay tuned to our live newscast as we bring you into the world of Nicole and Roosevelt, their lives drastically changing at 2:07 a.m. on October 29, 2023. Lastly, we highly encourage you to comment your thoughts or your opinions on this case and post on down below on our Twitter at CBC News. Now, thank you again for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.